What makes a great garden? I've had the good fortune to visit hundreds around the world. Obviously, a garden must have great form and pay careful attention to function. But what is it that makes it memorable, personal, and enchanting? I believe it's the story the gardener tells with their garden, seeding it into the soil when the design is conceived. I came to this conclusion while on tour by a Quebec gentleman whose garden was a veritable paradise. He and his wife lived in a modest home in a subdivision better known for its 3-meter winter snowbanks than its summer color. When asked what his inspiration was for his garden, I realized it was more than just liking tropical plants. He had looked at his yard and he was going to tell the story about traveling to gardens around the world. His guests would experience what it was like to be in a wonderful, warm, lush climate. And the garden did indeed reveal both its origins and his wife's passion for warmer climates and beautiful plants. A passion so great that the two of them gave up their home every winter, moving all the tropicals to keep them alive. Once the plants were inside, taking up every bit of available space, they headed off to discover new warm lands and plants, leaving behind the fierce winter. Little did I know upon my return that I'd have the perfect opportunity to make my own story garden. It all started with a little St. Bernard puppy, Agatha. She was soft, pretty, and loads of fun, and her favorite spot after her lawn chair was that Japanese maple you can just make out behind her chair. She used the cascading leaves as her cloak of invisibility, gnawing on the trunk undetected until the tree began to fail. So with the price of the tree rivaling that of the dog, I began to plan Agatha's garden. It was paramount that the structures added make the yard appear wider, and it had to look beautiful year-round. To function well, it must separate Agatha from my plant collection, and yet she should have an area to run and enjoy herself that was good to look at and easy to maintain. The story would be that this was my secret Asian-styled oasis, where I could sit under the trees and be peaceful with the birds in the bird bath and my collection of shade perennials all around me. It would be a beautiful, quiet spot full of little creatures, and while Agatha was the impetus for this special place, it was a place she wouldn't be permitted to enter until she was dead, or until she was better behaved. I have lived my story in this garden of quiet contemplation. I feel like I'm a world away from my neighbors in everyday life, living in the middle of a little oasis. Was it all perfect? No, of course not. Few stories are. Unlike a book, a garden has no back cover to close and you're done. New chapters are written as cliffhangers in the gardener's life, just waiting to see how we'll respond. Global warming serves up ice storms, flattening structures and plant material. World trade brings emerald ash borers that destroy century trees in 6 seasons. And as I respond to these challenges, new chapters are written. Fences are fixed, plants replaced, and old crowded plants reappear, reminding me why I selected them so many years ago. I have become accustomed to the brighter light and have added brighter colors. And even though Agatha resides in the garden forever now, Bart has taken on the challenge of the next chapter, traveling at speeds that Agatha could only dream of. Taking up the task of sniffing, snorting, and rolling. And most importantly, guarding Agatha's garden so the story will continue for years to come.